Today we're going to show you the receiver R2322G. This is a receiver that's part of the AN GRC215 shelterized radio installation, which is a tactical military radio system that was developed in the 80s, and it was supposed to be installed in the early 90s as a nuclear survivable HF network, mobile network, but that was never rolled out. It was supposed to be rolled out in Europe, which the NATO believed to be the theater for a Russian attack, Soviet attack I should say, and that obviously ended when the first Cold War was over. And as a result, the the GRC215 was surplused, and this is a receiver that comes from that. Let's turn it on, see what happens. Well, before I do that, it runs off regular AC, 115 volt, 60 Hertz, nothing special. As you can see, plugs right in there, and I have it hooked up to a regular military speaker. This is a normal NATO connector. Now this control unit is also used for the RT1512 receiver exciter, which looks exactly the same as this setup. I'll show you a little bit more of that when I show you the inside. But this is just a receiver. If I can get it in. There you go. This is the key loader. The original radio was capable of frequency hopping with the KGV-10 TSAC, but that has been removed for obvious reasons from this unit. So although the sign says it's in there, it's actually not. That was removed before they were surplused. But it can still work in linear mode, regular mode. This is the ID plate for the controller. It's the C11670G. Like I said, it's the same one that's used for the RT1512 receiver exciter version of this unit. This is a input for a sync unit needed for the frequency hopper. This is a remote control that can be used to remote control this whole installation. Well, I can't get it off, but you have to take my word for it. Not sure what this here is. Oh, that's the fill input. This is where you use your fill gun to set the hopping sequence, and this is to zero the sequence. If the radio is about to fall into enemy hands, you press this button and the hop sequence is erased. This goes to the pre-post selector. That's another part of this radio section, but the receiver works perfectly without it. This is the switch for local and remote, and obviously we'll keep it in local for now. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Now when it turns on, I will do a self-test. Still working on it. Radio is microprocessor controlled, and it basically checks all the individual modules for proper function. As you see, it passed the test. Radio can do upper sideband as well as lower sideband, and it defaults to upper sideband. The frequency coverage is 2 MHz to 30 MHz in 10 Hz steps. The 10 is not displayed, so the smallest step size that's actually being displayed is 100 Hz. Let's pick a frequency. As you can see, we're now on 20 meters. This is where you would expect the Maritime Mobile Service Net. Kind of quiet today. Propagation is not great, but maybe we'll pick something up later. I don't think there's any memories installed right now. No, you can program those though. Let's say I want to program 14250. And let's program that in memory number 2. And that's what I have programmed now. I can also program the Maritime Mobile Service Net in position number 1. And that's what we have now.
Very good, Mr. Nick. Got KL7IQQ. Hello, Mr. Larry. Nice signal down here to North Texas. KL2 Papa Mike. Did not hear Richard, which is unfortunate, but by golly, heard Mike.
So I can pull up the
SS. Great Independence. Happy 4th of July to all of you up there.
The other channel. And we'll go back to number 1.
That's pretty cool. What's going on up in
Let's see if we can receive something on other bands. I'll have to retune the antenna for that. So for that we'll have to take a short break. Let's try 15 meters.
Charlie 2, Alpha, we back. Hotel Charlie 2, Alpha, we back. Echo Alpha 5, Delta. Whiskey 1, Kilowatt, Sierra Zulu.
Seem to have some kind of pile-up going on here. I can dim this light here. Oops, I turned it off, that wasn't smart. See if there's something going on the lower bands, 40 meters maybe. Then I can show you the lower sideband feature. That is activated by pressing second SB, which stands for sideband, and then we're on lower sideband. So let's see if we get something on 40 meters.
Whiskey Charlie Mike, you're making me hungry. Talking about grilling up those ribs and all that good barbecue down there.
Alright, let's have a look at the inside. As you can see, the inside is built completely modular. We got the power supply here. The power supply is 110 volt 50 Hertz, nothing special. The reference oscillator is here. It's a 10 MHz reference oscillator. It's also possible to use an external reference source of 10 MHz. The unit is auto sensing, so if you plug that in on the front, it will disable this reference oscillator. Now the receiver and the transmit path is completely separated. As you know, this is just a receiver, but the chassis is the same as the RT 1512 chassis, which has 2 more modules, which makes it a receiver exciter. Because of the fact that receiver and transmitter pad are separated, you can just take those out and then it becomes a receiver, which is what they did for this particular unit. Audio unit for a receiver, IF unit, RF unit, and an RF switch unit. This is the synthesizer. 3 modules for the synthesizer. It's basically a fast DDS synthesizer, which is built with discrete TTL chips, and it had to be a DDS in order to do the frequency hopping. Only a DDS is fast enough for that. So in the 80s, where this unit was designed, that was pretty unique. You didn't have single chip DDSs yet. As you can see, it's built extremely robust. This unit is designed to withstand the EMP pulse. That was the whole purpose of the equipment. And as I said, the build is truly unique. This is a very comprehensive filter for the AC to keep that EMP pulse out. Let's have a look at the underside of the radio. Here you see the underside. This is the roofing filter. .75 megahertz. And of course all the modules are connected with I think it's SMC or SMB, I think it is. Everything is connected with SMB connectors. Here we got some more filtering, and this is basically the motherboard. The synthesizer resides on its own chassis that plugs in here, and these are the input-outputs for the synthesizer. Here is the underside of the filter, AC filter, and here is a distribution board. This is all with flex cables. As I said, built to withstand World War III, literally. And here you see the bottom with the bottom cover installed, completely covered. Now, as I said, the R2322G 2322G is the same chassis as the RT1512. Looks exactly the same, for the exception of these two modules for the transmitter that have not been installed for the receiver. Now I do have one module, that's the RF exciter, that would go in here. Would have to remove that tape, but for the rest it will fit perfectly. So the only module that I'm missing to turn it into a receiver exciter is the audio sideband exciter unit. And sometimes they're offered for sale on the internet, so this unit is fairly easy to convert into the RT1512 receiver exciter. As an exciter it gives off 100 milliwatts to drive a power amplifier, obviously. The control head for the receiver as well as the receiver exciter is identical. So right now I have a loudspeaker plugged in, but in that case you would plug in a I think it's an H250 handset that goes in there.
Got a couple on my list already. Let's see, is there a uniform pop-up?
So the control head for both configurations is identical. And this is what the unit looks with the cover installed. Nice and solid, completely sealed. Show you quickly the operation of the memory. Now the radio does have a lithium battery that you can install. You need to remove these 4 screws. This comes out on flex cables, and then there is a battery, lithium battery, that you can plug in there. Right now that's not in there, so when you turn off the unit it will lose the memories. But I did program a few, and as long as the power is there it will work fine. I'll show you, this is how you recall them. Second 14.205, 14.280. It's pretty easy. For instance, if I want to program number 7, channel 7, memory 7 with let's say 14150. First I press the frequency 141500. Second PST 7, and then that's there. If I now recall another channel, I'm back on here, and this is what I just programmed. And you can do that for, I think it has 32 memories, I'm not 100% sure. And like I said, if you put the lithium battery in there, it's one of those larger lithium batteries, it almost looks like a normal battery. And you put that in there, and then it will retain the memories. Works very simple. Propagation is not great today. take you to a higher frequency, but you won't hear too much there today. In any case, that's the memories. Okay. 7183. And we're now on 40 meters. It's the middle of the day, so signals are weak, but I just wanted to give you an idea.
Oh, I think I can get by it with 100 watts. I think it's going to take about 3-4 weeks before they fix that thing.
It works too.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll be headed up.
We're going to upper sideband. And now we're back on 50 meter. I wanted to let you listen to the AGC function of this radio. It really works nice. As you can see, it stays flat and then it suddenly releases. Much better than what ham radios do. It has the smoothest AGC function. You can hear it, it releases. It doesn't slowly drop off. As you can see, the LCD dims after a while. I don't know if it's visible on the video, but if you look very careful, you can see that there is actually a screen in front of the LCD to protect that from EMP as well. Like I said, it's incredibly professionally built. It's the best tactical radio I've ever seen. Alright, that's basically it. The receiver R2322G, part of the AN GRC215 radio installation, which was designed as a Cold War radio to be deployed in Europe. Never happened because the first Cold War ended, but God knows what kind of nice radios we're gonna have with the second Cold War coming up. Thank you for watching this video.